Welcome to Home Gym Con 2026, day 2. I hope you're ready. We're still on our quest to see all of the new releases, but
we're 24 hours into filming so far, and we've got a long way to go. So let's get started.
We're here at Freak Athlete that had one of the biggest releases of Home Gym Con.
Can we start with it?
No. People are gonna be like, she keeps saying it's a big release, but it actually is. You'll be excited.
Really exciting.
Yeah. But let's start with the Hyper Pro X, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is their refined
version. It's probably like a V3. You can see the V2 over here had a lot of colored knobs and stuff. It can be a little tricky to set up. Once you get used to it, it wasn't bad, but here they've simplified the setup. There's only 2 knobs, like an integrated handle to lift it, but you're still gonna have all that same functionality. You can still hook it up to the leg extension, leg curl. You can still do Nordic curls, use it as GHD, GHR, back extensions. It's still not a reverse hyper.
No,
they're over there watching us film.
I do like how they took away some of the things that weren't working as well with previous versions.
The upper body kit.
Yeah.
So some like the hip thrust, things that people weren't really using it for, and the functionality wasn't amazing. But that's fun. That's awesome. It's great to see them listen to feedback. But this is the big game changer. These, I think, give them the hype. Price is going to be competitive. They're going to release them at the end of the year, but it's a cageless
They're a collaboration
dumbbell.
with Snode, right?
Yeah, so if you saw the Snode 8080s reviewed or the Nike dumbbells reviewed, in that one we said Snode needs to take this dumbbell, take the 5-pound increments, and make it like the Nike, but just heavier, right? So now you've got 120 pounds, and they're supposed to be drop proof. Okay, let's see if they still... That's not the first drop. They've probably dropped these like hundreds of times.
If you were around in the convention, you could just hear the thuds.
Do you want to grab that for me?
Oh my gosh, I guess. Here, scoot over.
I didn't actually think you were going to grab it.
So Adrian actually got here early and tore apart a dumbbell all on his own. I'm kidding. But actually, come over here.
So we do tear down and drop test basically every dumbbell, but you can see here all the internals.
Yes.
And it just kind of confirms this is a collab. When we tore apart the Snodes, we tore apart the Nikes, using a lot of the same mechanisms. This one right here has been dropped over 500 times. This is the part that would break, the telescoping rod, when it cantilevers out, but it's still perfectly fine.
And they said that there's a lifetime warranty and they'll send you the pieces to fix it yourself with very clear video instructions. We'll see how clear.
So, I mean, mine's working fine. How's yours?
Good.
Think of the Snode 8080. Think of the Nike. I said the Nike would be great if it go heavier. So 85, 105, or 125 or 120 pounds. I might have got those numbers wrong, but it's definitely up to 120. 5-pound integrated adder weights. So just pick this plate up when you flip through it.
This 15.
They said price competitively. They said end of the year. Man, really well balanced, really well done. They've been beating the crap out of these. I'm so excited for this collab between Freak and Snode. These are gonna be really nice.
They really are. We are here at Bells of Steel, and they have a lot of really interesting things. I know you're saying, Winnie, stop saying that, but for real this time. So our favorite BYOB Smith machine.
Who said it was our favorite?
I like it.
Okay.
All right, but they have a big update, and that's you can now do the unilateral movements on it. So here, I'll let you demonstrate.
So this is something Kayvon sent videos to me of a long time ago, and he's working through some kinks because it used to roll. He liked the rolling, like it would rotate in and out, but Bells thought that was a safety concern.
Yeah.
So they've locked it in. It works really well, but since it's the BYOB version, you could put your bar in here, right? I don't know if there's any tweaks they have to do to make that work, but you should be able to swap these handles out. So it'd be cool if they made like a rotating or whatever, but you should be able to put all kinds of stuff in here because it's just a clamp system.
So now we see another belt squat. This place is full of these, but this one is pretty interesting. There's a key here.
So she's released the carriage. You've got a pulley belt squat, which you don't see a lot of, but you've got a direct line here. She can mess with her range of motion. Really nice platform. I haven't tried it. Is it smooth?
Honestly, it's one of the nicest ones we've tried at the convention.
So rather than running on a trolley, it runs on this type of like weight stack system, which is probably why it's smooth. But the cool thing about this is
you could pull this off, switch it to the pad, and do rows. Now we have their basilisk. That's a hard word to say. Yeah, but we actually have this machine. We just haven't reviewed it yet. And what I like most about it is the absolutely ginormous leg roller.
They've been working on this one for a long time. Some of the cool features, Bells really sneaks a lot of functionality people don't notice, but you can put the stack on either side of the machine. It's super compact. So giving you the ability to put on either side means you can like tuck it in wherever you want, onto a corner, against a wall. It feels really smooth and well done. We've tinkered with it at home, but that review is coming.
I don't know if we mentioned, but this has an absolutely massive weight stack.
It's like over 300 pounds.
Yeah. Now we have this obvious prototype, and I don't know if they have a name for it yet, but this is a leg press, hack squat, row machine.
And apparently, this right here, this is the world's heaviest calf raise block.
Oh my gosh, no, that is like a torture device.
That's like 1/4-inch steel.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clever to have the row capability because you already have the trolleys, and we'll show you soon, but there's a really clever mechanism that allows you to change it into rows.
And we've seen a ton of row machines, and they're cool, but dedicating the footprint for a row machine, I think this is clever to integrate the two. Do you want to drop it to hack squats?
Yeah.
So for hack squats, you guys are probably pretty used to this. You have a lot of pop pins. You have this kind of shoulder yoke you pop on. And what I'd be interested here, we have not really touched this, is the range of motion. Oh, you're well past 90 already.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they have, an adjustable foot plate. The range of motion looks pretty good. Not that leg press hack squats are anything new, but the row part I'm excited to try. So it's kind of a clever mechanism here. You can kind of disconnect the sled, and now this is my platform that's adjustable, just a pop pin to get that into position. And now you've got multiple rowing angles. There's actually a pop pin here to spin these, orient them how you want, but you've got various grips right here. I can go here, I can go wide, I can angle it, I can spin this thing around.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, for a prototype, especially Belle's prototype, it's super cool and pretty well functioning. So I'm excited to see how they're gonna make it better before they release it. And now we have the reverse hammer 2.0.
So we had a couple of complaints about this one. One of which men will understand, this used to be permanent and it could be uncomfortable. It now Velcros on. Winnie had issues doing GHRs. She's actually in a Nordic position, so they've added the Nordic functionality here by making this move way close, which would also make it work for shorter people. We've tested it with like our 11-year-old son before, and sometimes machines don't work, but this would actually work for him.
And
but they've added this counterweight.
Yeah, so this is the counterweight that allows you to do exercises assisted, or you can flip the counterweight and do them with more weight.
So you could make it so Winnie can't do GHRs, or couldn't on the original reverse hammer.
What do you mean? There's so much counterweight, I'm flying up.
Like if you've seen products like Freaks, Apex, or XMasters, whatever they're calling it now, some of those can angle. It's cool, they're pretty darn expensive. This is Belle's interpretation of making this easier. And you can also actually use it for a back attack. Do you want to show that? So this is our first attempt at doing this, but now we've got resistance going, so she can do a back attack. You're gonna have your normal adjustability. So depending on your body length, you can change this position here. So let's say you're getting better at GHRs, but you're having trouble, coming out of the hole. This is probably in the wrong position. Now at the start of her movement, she has no help, but in the hole where it's more difficult, the counterweight would pull her back out of it. It's actually pretty clever. Yeah. It's still a reverse hyper. I use this to rehab my back. This machine, I give a lot of credit to. They've got a lot of cool functions. I can spin the handles around and do other stuff with it. But this is something I talked to Kayvon about years ago, and it's cool to see them put literally all of my feedback into one machine. We snuck in a little bit early, and we're here at XMaster. They have quite a few interesting things.
Oh my, is this real wood? Okay, I guess that was pretty obvious that wasn't gonna be real wood.
So this is their new all-in-one rack. It has like a faux wood shroud, which is kind of cool to see things different. And of course, apparently everything in a home gym needs to be stainless steel.
Obviously.
But it's stainless steel. It's kind of your typical functional trainer rack. Think of like a Rep Athena. These are prototypes, so I don't know how well things,
oh my
let's
God.
pretend that works.
Is this their new foot plate?
Oh my God, you know what? Guys, it might work if I use the right side.
That would.
That's just a tension knob. We're professionals here.
Yeah.
So they're building an ecosystem out. You've got an adjustable foot plate. It actually looks really robust. Do you want to show that angle? You got an angle change. I mean, kind of your typical 3x3 1-inch, but not a lot of play like a lot of other ones. You have your lap pull down seat, 2-to-1 dual stacks. That's not that exciting because there's a bench over here I really want to check out.
I don't know what they named this bench, but it looks like a beast, right?
Yeah, I don't know what they named any of this stuff, but this one,
Do you know this is a prototype or not?
I just know it has more stainless steel on it.
Yeah.
We haven't really touched this. We'll see how it works, but some type of ecosystem of attachments. You have adjustable arm pads, a leg roller, a leg extension, leg curl, and a really cool auto-adjusting gap feature.
Yeah, I would say I wish it went a little further back.
Yeah, so maybe it's a prototype, but yeah, could probably go a little further. Do you want to try leg curls or should I?
You can do it. How does it feel?
So the pad is rolling? So
well,
is my foot in the right spot?
No, it's on a hinge, so I think it's supposed to roll.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, for a bench leg developer, I don't think I have any weight on there. Oh, I do.
That's how strong he is. He didn't even know.
Feels pretty smooth, pretty solid, but let's pull that off and see what else it can do. So it looks like just a single pop pin. Let's see. Okay, so some of these are really a pain in the getting off. That was one of the easier ones. Removable
these
pads.
Pop out?
They also move up and down. So it's this pop pin, so you can adjust their position up or down. But what I think is kind of cool is you can adjust the width. So on a lot of these, the shorty bench and other ones, they don't work well for a lot of movements because you can't get them wide enough.
Yes.
This is kind of cool to see.
There's also this other thing, the head folds.
Okay.
That's cool.
So in the new age of bench ecosystems, kind of a cool surprise. No idea what it costs, no idea what it's named, but a lot of functionality here.
We're here at WM Fabrications, and one of the greatest things about Home Gym Con is you get to see the massive companies, that's the Rogues, the Reps, and the tiny guys. This is literally just a man in his garage, something we can appreciate, making amazing machines.
Just wild stuff. Do you want to try this?
Yeah, so I think this is called his Jam and Squat. And
so it's pretty cool. It's gonna run on like a vertical post, but you can see it can tilt. It's something you have to try to see the feeling of this.
It's honestly very nice.
It feels great on the quads.
Yeah. It is on concrete, it's not on pads, but I think, so it moves a little bit, but honestly it feels very stable when you're doing the exercise, and it has a Vulture mount.
The Vulture mount was wild. So this is their leg extension leg curl. If you've been following us on TikTok, Instagram, and those other socials, we would have shown this off at one point, but you like that? Yeah. You can actually adjust your starting position here to roll this back to get real deep. Obviously there's all the normal adjustments you'd make, like your leg length, but I can pop this back. And you could do, wait a minute, can you drop this down so I can show? So this is unilateral. Each leg is on its own, and they have kind of like smart arm, torque arm type thing where you can change the resistance profile by putting that on different sides. No, I want to go way back. Show them how far you can go. Okay, it's 7:30 in the morning here. I have not warmed up. Oh my God, I can't do that. Put a little bit higher, put a little bit higher. Oh, look at that stretch, and I can get a lot deeper than this. And the unilateral is super cool because you can do your legs individually, obviously, but a really cool machine. And then the one I really wanted to see is the bi-angular row. Do you think you can row that?
We'll see. Okay, so a lot of these big companies didn't bring plates. They just brought their machines, which is kind of funny. And this guy's like, no, I'm bringing my home plates. So you get the full effect.
One of the cool features on this machine is you can do the arms unilaterally, independently, but there's a little mechanism down here that locks the two arms together to join them. So I think they're all stainless steel handles. I could be wrong there, but beautiful knurling. Look at all these different grip positions. You can grab up top, you can go neutral, pronate, supinate, whatever you want. And I gotta say, messing with these a little bit, super, super smooth.
It's really smooth. This is a great booth, and I'm really excited we got to see them. All right, we're out here for great machines for world domination.
Or is it glowing moment, wild dreams?
Which is what actually GMWD stands for.
It stands for something.
It stands for something.
And Mikolo. It's kind of a two-booster.
And Mikolo. All these machines look very familiar. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, so we've reviewed all these, though they have some exciting changes coming. You have the LE11, reviewed it. Yep. LE08, reviewed it, but they've put some of that stuff into Mikolo's budget line, which I think is exciting. We'll show you that.
It is cool.
And then we've all seen, hopefully,
and love
the V8, but they are working on a V9.
And they've not frequently do you get a V9, so.
Well, over here you get a lot of Vs.
Yeah.
But the big ones would be, they're switching this handle to the front so you can actually push this machine. Cool, but not as cool, or even more cool, I would say, is the fact that in the V9, the bench will be optional. So for a lot of people who want to pull this out, they'll make some tweaks so it's a little more stable, because I do not think it's safe to do that with the 8. They'll tweak that with the 9 so that you don't have to use, you can use your own bench, which I think is pretty cool.
That's super cool. Now Mikolo's turn, starting out really strong with a $400 leg extension leg curl.
Probably the new budget king. So if you've seen the Towerette, if you've seen the LE08 and other ones, a lot of this functionality is going to look very similar, but they've taken the LE08, which is what we loved about this. So Winnie and I didn't have to swap plates as much. You can move this to make it easier or harder. So there you go, Winnie.
Right,
she tries her leg extension.
Very easy. Make it a little harder.
You're going to have your normal adjustability, but you're not switching plates as much, right? And it's only 25 pounds, so Winnie could probably do this.
And also look at this sick orange color. They're definitely really proud of this.
I think this is just a home gym exclusive color. I don't know if this is the real color.
Wow, this is cool. And then they have their rowing machines.
Yeah, so the 6 and the 7.
The linear rows.
kind of a more budget-oriented company, so these are really popular for home gyms, but you'd have different ways to row. And actually kind of cool, some people in the home gym community have been popping carabiners in here so they can like put different handles and stuff on. It's kind of cool machines, especially for the price, but I'm a little more excited over here.
Yeah, so they've updated both of these lines and they added the low row lat pull down.
Yep, so honey, why don't you tell them what it's called?
The Anubis 2.0.
Oh, she got it.
And that's the
Falcon.
Falcon, all right.
We're not even there yet. So the big change is we reviewed the Anubis originally. It didn't have the center pull systems. So you're getting the dual lat pull down, which you obviously could link to get the full weight of the stacks, if you want more weight. Or you could disconnect this to do unilateral movements. And they've added the low row as well. So again, you have dual pull points like an Aries type system, whereas it used to be like an Athena where it was a functional trainer all in a rack and a budget rack. You do have the Smith. Now it's more like an Aries where you have the different various pull points.
So now we have you already said the name and I already forgot.
So this is a Falcon 2.0.
Yeah.
Just like with the Anubis, essentially what they've added, this is a functional trainer, obviously. But they've made it like the center point of your entire cable system. I again have the same dual high pulls for your lat pull downs where I can link them. I have the dual low rows. They've built the leg brace into the machine. How's that feel?
It feels pretty good and there's nothing in my face, which is not always the case.
There is enough space. We've tried some other ones, like where you're trying to do a pull-up or something else on these compact units.
And it's here.
I don't want to call anybody out, Vesta.
Yeah.
but my body was hitting when I was doing it. So, but it's not that huge. I mean,
no, they did say they made it taller, but I think it's still under 8 feet.
Yeah, this is definitely going to fit in basements. It's fairly compact. A lot of these, they'll pull the low row out, or if you're on the side, you're low rowing way out here, but you're actually pushed in. This is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah. We're at Chisel Fit, which we were honestly gonna skip, but Jeff from Paired and Powered Up insisted we came and see it, and they've helped us out so much this week that we decided we'd check it out. I have heard this is a prototype, but there are 5 plates counterbalancing it.
So it's a pendulum, but you move with it, which sounds weird, but it's super fun.
It is, honestly, I feel like a professional athlete. Like
it feels really smooth. I mean, maybe a little large for a home gym. We'd have to talk to him. Like she said, it's a prototype. You might be able to shrink it down, but you have all your typical adjustments. I can raise or lower this. I can change my safeties. They do have other machines they're working on as well.
My gosh.
But probably a cool company that I'd keep my eyes out on.
Now we're at Quantum Trainer, and last year Glenn told me it was done making changes. That was definitely not true, because these are completely different machines. They're
actually it's the same machine. So that's the OG Quantum Trainer that we covered last year. But there's a lot of modules, he did say that, that you can add on to it to give it even more functionality, which is kind of wild to say because
it already could do basically everything.
Not an understatement. This might be the most versatile piece of equipment there is.
Yeah, but he also came out with a leg machine, it looks like.
So, not quite a leg machine. It's a total gym on steroids, essentially. This is a collaboration with Hybrid Resistance. This is Power Glide. So, collaborated with Quantum Trainer.
What's that?
Oh, here we go. These are the torque wedges. So if you've used these type of slant wedges before, he's super cool. Lightweight, foam.
I mean, the guy who made them so small, so it's crazy how good of a...
massive. You can actually pop these off and change the angle. There's different ones over there, but just go on here, give yourself a little slant wedge. So if you want to change how it feels, but this is not only a leg press, it's also a hack squat. So we stripped it down, took some weight off because Winnie doesn't want to show off. But if you want to hop on this, we can show you some of the things it can do.
He gave me a brief summary on this.
Yeah, we have like a 5 minutes of experience with this. So you're using essentially your body as resistance on this sled. You can change the angle, but he's got a Voltra integration you could put here. You can put bands in here. He has a counterweight system he's messing with. And if it looks huge, it is, but this is a prototype. It's gonna fold up. It's got a trolley, so you can change the angle. You can pull this and put this on and off your rack. I mean,
it is very fun.
For a prototype, a wild amount of stuff. You can also turn around and do like flies and push press. I mean, if I spun around, I'm sure you could do it other ways too. I could do. If
you had Mike on here, he did a full body workout in like 10 minutes. It was crazy. Not even 10 minutes.
There you go. So I've never actually tried this. So it looks complicated, but it's pretty intuitive.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to do like triceps or whatever else, actually, before we get too crazy here, or maybe we'll get more crazy, you got a 3x3 1-inch upright. So I don't see why you couldn't come over here and maybe put like Darko's thresher pad or something as a brace and come use it this way, we are going to undersell this, but as a prototype, the amount of things you can do with this.
Also, it's incredibly smooth. Like when you're riding on those guide rods, your body weight's on it, so it has to be, and it glides.
To be honest, the first time I saw it, I thought this is ridiculous. We're not gonna film it.
It's very big, yeah.
Spent 2 minutes on it, absolutely love it.
We're here with Apex and their Apex bench. Apex, New York, New York.
Apex.
Yep, is this whole booth benches?
It's actually just one bench. And probably the most versatile bench on the planet. Just every bench in different configurations. You can do Nordic curls, leg developer, belt squat.
Yeah, we've actually already done 2 videos with this bench.
Yeah, so they have made some changes. There's a Voltra integration that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And then the bench itself, they've tweaked. The reason we're going over this is because we thought they've done a fantastic job just responding to every little piece. How'd they get over here?
I don't know, they're intimidating us to make sure we can only say positive things.
Winnie, what did they change?
All right, they lowered the hinge, which is my favorite part.
That was a big one. Sometimes you drop back and it would kind of hit your lower back.
Yep, they added a handle here. That's a prototype. We're not sure if they're gonna keep it.
So they're here to get like feedback.
Yep, and then they made it so there's no staples, which is another thing I really like because I kept pricking my fingers.
Actually, so there's a few other things. I mean, even down to tiny things like changing the paint to have more of this gloss kind of finish that they're working on. Change the handle. I actually don't have this one, so I think we'll just you guys don't need this, right?
We don't have enough of these benches?
Yeah.
So we're here at Ritfit, and they're releasing a ton of stuff this year, which seems to be the theme, yeah. But they're definitely a more budget-oriented company, so they might be worth a look. This is their new big lineup. It's called the Mega, I think.
I was gonna call it the Ultra, but that's somebody else. We've seen so many wraps.
Or maybe we've switched those.
Maybe, but the big thing here is you're getting a 3x3 one inch. You'll see some of these other racks. There's a lot of racks here.
This
the trolley is super
light.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you can get 4 posts, 6 posts, but I think what's cool with them is they have a couple different options of like how you can buy things a la carte. So this is a bolt-on belt squat linked to the weight stack that's optional. On the other side, they have a leg extension, leg curl, again, integrates into the weight stack. Of course, there's a lat pull down and other pull points.
And then they have their M2.
Yeah, so the M2 is, again, 1 inch, but you're seeing it. We're going down the budget line. We're not getting all 4 holes. You do have the 3D Smith. One of our critiques last year is it didn't have a lot of range of motion.
Whee!
I think I did a curl and ran into the rack. So they've tweaked that. They've listened to feedback. On the M1, you're going to a 2x2 rack. Again, bringing your budget down. You can actually upgrade these. So on these, you get a standard trolley. You don't think of like an Athena, but you can upgrade to these free motion trolleys on these rack. Again, a la carte.
And instead of a 3D Smith, you have the standard 1 dimension.
You can swap out these. So they start as 14 gauge. You can see them in those optional storage wings in the back, but you get them 11 gauge if you want.
All right, so now my favorite part about Ritfit, and that is they're willing to listen to you and work with you. So we've seen a lot of racks today, I guess this whole weekend. These are the only ones that actually look different, which isn't a bash on anybody else, but where's the other pink rack, you know? And so this again has a 3D Smith, and they said that if you really want like a mermaid bar, if enough people ask them, they'll be willing to make it. But I was really interested in this. Like I said, this is something completely different. You have pale pink and teal blue.
No idea what it's named.
That's the only one like it.
Kind of an interesting thing I haven't seen a company do before. I've never actually touched this.
And this is an adjustable bench with storage in it, which is honestly pretty cool.
This is an interesting integration. So the safeties for the Smith machine are also your trolley.
It's really clever. I haven't seen anything like it today.
So if I want to drop this down, here's my safety, or I can use it off my pull point. Kind of like a cool, different way to do things.
Yeah, and they have a ton of dedicated machines here, but I want to spend time on this one specifically because again, it's pink, it's an abductor, abductor, and it's under $1,000. I've really wanted these for a long time, so I'm hoping we can get this one in our gym.
This is under $1,000 for a select rise stack?
Yes.
Wow.
There's obviously a ton of other machines here. If you're interested in something specific, let us know, but Ritfit may have made their spot on the map.
We gotta keep moving.
We are here at Lioncool now, which is a pretty nice budget-oriented company. Also at Home Gym Con, I don't know if you can hear in the background, but we're starting to do competitions here. So they're doing some crazy lifts over there, much heavier than I can do.
Julius Maddox about to bench.
I know, we're gonna stop filming and watch that.
Yes.
But so if you hear screaming, that's why. So this is their leg press row machine,
yeah.
Right?
So the thing with Lioncool is this is $500 leg press or around that. Pretty cool, pretty budget oriented. It seems pretty solid.
It's
but
pretty nice.
They added the row functionality into it, which is kind of cool. We saw that at Bells of Steel too, but that's going to cost a few times.
Yeah.
So nothing groundbreaking here. We've seen a lot of row machines, but you've got a couple grips, and at this price point, it's kind of cool to see a little extra functionality.
So Adrian just teleported into this machine, I guess. This is their hip machine, and it's good, but it's especially good for the price. How much did they say it was?
I think they said 400 chips. Don't quote me on that. We've never reviewed any of their stuff, and I've never touched this thing before. So let us know if you want some reviews. Pretty intuitive as I split my legs in half.
Oh my God, this is a crazy clip.
All right, but I mean, you can sit, you can stand. It seems pretty solid. I'd say.
It's nice. I used it. It's very smooth.
Yeah, let us know if you want to see some reviews.
We're here at Mythic, which is a very small team. It's just a husband and wife, which is something I can appreciate. But they have a lot of really cool, unique things. One of which being this bench. And so this is a proof of concept for a zero gap bench. Why don't you show it?
So a lot of these are prototypes, but works pretty well. It's like a gapless bench. So I pull this up and it's just, you can see the hinge system going. Keeps that gap to nothing. Pretty cool.
And I heard a rumor that this is very light. I mean, the back's up, but this is probably under 100 pounds.
Compared to the Blackwing.
Don't.
So one of the things they did by changing, again, prototype, but by putting these mechanisms in the front, they're not adding weight to the bench, which is what happened with the Blackwing and other benches.
And others. Over here, so this is what they have closest to launch, and these are their spotters and their J-cups. These will help you emulate west side hole spacing. So this J-cup can move an inch up and down with this pop pin.
So your typical 3x3 1-inch rack, you'd pull this off and you have 2-inch jumps, right? Which is fine, doesn't always work well.
Yes.
With west side hole spacing, you now have those micro adjustments. And this one works by you just take it, you flip it upside down, and they have it offset the top versus the bottom. And now again, you have that 1-inch hole spacing.
So this is their leg developer that has a couple super cool things, but I guess we'll show just how it works.
The highlights of this system is you can do it as a cable system or plate loaded. We'll show you plate loaded in a second. All leg developers have adjustable starting positions. So you're gonna have your typical, like, I can change my leg length, I can change my starting position. But a cool thing they've done there, it's kind of a modular system. So this is the cable integrated version, but if we want to, I can switch this point. This is a 1-to-1 cable ratio, but if I clip into this point right here, it's 1-to-2. So it's doubling your weight. So let's say you have a really light weight stack. You just come over here, you switch where that carabiner is, and now I've doubled the weight of my stack.
Yeah, and on top of that, this whole thing is removable. So if you undo that, you pull the cam out. So when you buy this, you can get it with just the weight horn, which can then be folded away for storage.
Another big selling feature of this, we get this question all the time, is people make proprietary stuff, which is great if you own that exact bench.
Yes, exactly.
This, they're making universal adapters so that you can swap this onto different benches, but let's show the plate loader version.
So now we see the same leg developer, but now it's attached to a rack as opposed to a bench. So you actually don't need this. And they told me that this is the same height as a plyo box, so you have other options.
Kind of cool to see them cater to that universal where you're, again, not stuck in that proprietary system. A cool thing they've done with the plate loaded, so this is like a la carte. If you don't have a weight stack, you don't have to buy that little add-on. But the problem with plate loaded devices is the resistance profile often needs to be manipulated.
Yeah.
So right now, she's not gonna have any resistance at the start.
There's nothing.
What do? We go over here and we change the starting position of the plate. I'm gonna throw 45 pounds on here and hope my wife can manage this because we have not messed with this. She adjusts her starting position. Now she has resistance at the start of the motion and she can kind of tweak that.
It feels pretty good. I think, again, this is a prototype. I would like if it got a little bit further back, but I'm honestly super impressed that this works as well as it does, especially since it's not attached to the bench at all.
So how does it feel?
Honestly, it feels pretty good, especially since it's such a new product. I think this is gonna launch sometime next year, and I'm excited about it, and I hope we can see it in our own gym. So at Fringe, we have a lot of big releases, like the obviously named Walrus 2 that still has that Walrus flop, and a lot of little releases that we'll get into. But why don't we talk about what's different with the Walrus 2.0?
So we reviewed this one. You're still gonna have, I'm not gonna hit my wife in the head, the adjustable starting position. And some of the tweaks we talked about before, like they needed to keep this cable from falling off, they've tweaked that. But the bigger ones is adding adjustability and tweaking the padding here to make this a little more versatile, a little more user-friendly. So you still drop the angle, but just adjusting this and manipulating it into different positions for a lat pull down, for a low row. Really
This is a lot more stable than it was.
And a little better thought out. The other big one would be, they have this massive pad here that you can strap to do like a chest supported row type situation.
All right, so then coming over here, we have the Gatling gun and the Cloverfield cable machine.
Yeah, so think of this like an Adonis or a CTM1. You're gonna have all the same functionality.
With the matching seat.
Yes. I don't know the price point, but these are like separate products you can buy together. You're probably gonna buy them together though.
Yeah.
But you have the 1-to-1 with that heavy stack. They've upgraded the stacks here. 1-to-1 on the lat pull, 1-to-1 on the low row. And then you'll have the functional trainer trolley like a CTM1, like an Adonis. And this is kind of cool. If you use Rogue's multi-use lat seat, if you use the Pegasus, they've combined some of the functionality.
This is cool, but I did ask them and it's 80 pounds. That is a heavy thing.
You don't want to try it?
Not, my hands already hurt. I don't know if I'm ready for this, but
it's gonna be the heaviest seat.
A lot of functionality.
A ridiculous like weight capacity, but it's a big boy.
Yeah.
So the idea here is like the Pegasus, you can drop this to different heights. I've never actually touched this. Drop this to different heights so you're not moving it up and down the rack, which is how they're getting over the weight capacity some. With Rogues, you can flip it and do other things, but you do have to handle that weight. Here I can just drop it down and then change the angle. You could use this for chest supported rows. You obviously have the low row kind of, functionality. I'm sure you could probably do like split squats and other things on it. This is a bit of a brace for different uses. Kind of a cool integration.
All right, so now we have the Great Dane, and I know what you're thinking. What is the difference between the Great Dane, the Dane 3.0,
the Dane 2.0?
The Dane 2.0.
I actually do get a little confused and I keep messing up. So actually, I think Winnie knows this better than me.
I do. So the Great Dane has the Smith machine. So that's the big difference.
The integrated Smith versus on the Dane 2.0, you could put the bob on it, but the integration's a little wonky. It's got to be like off the front or the back.
Obviously, this one is a 6-post, whereas the Dane 3.0 is a 4-post. But this thing that they have in common is the high and low pull points. So they did a survey, I guess, that's if you wanted to keep your center clear or not, and they decided to pursue their high pull, I'm tripping over this platform, their high pull and low row to the side instead of in the middle.
So Dane 1.0, 2.0 were basically functional trainer racks where you had the trolley on the side, which you have here, but the 3.0 and the Great Dane have the integrated extended lat pull down and low row capabilities. And this is kind of loaded up with they have a new low profile spotter.
Yep.
I really like these because there are other ones I complained a few times.
Yeah.
They took up a ton of space. The integrated weight horns, just all the little things you've seen over the years that they're kind of taking the feedback and integrating it. This is optional, but there's a belt squat system, cable belt squat. They have a platform to raise you up, change the angle, and just a ludicrous amount of cable attachments that I kind of want to nerd out about as I fall over things. Bear with me a second, because we did a huge video on, I tested hundreds of cable attachments, but some of my favorites are in here. So these are a lot of little collabs with Matt Porter. He's a teacher in Florida and he builds a lot of this stuff himself. So he'll hand grind these down. The craftsmanship over the years has gotten fantastic, but a row handle, we saw this yesterday, if you saw our previous video, the D handle, which is a collab with BeltFed, another small company.
Wait, this one, he told me how he was massaging it with beeswax oil. And so if you want your attachments, heavily tenderized, you know where to go.
This one is a collab with Carbon Strength. I mean, there's stuff over, it's just cool. I think we said it before.
Yes.
See all the companies embrace each other in the community and support each other. So these are the Megalith handles from Rohrman with a Matt Porter thing, the knurling on this. Everything is fantastic, and that's just really us glossing over it.
We are here at Primal, which is a new brand, but just new to us, not new altogether.
Been around since 2016, out of Scotland.
Yes, and we're gonna see throughout this that it's interesting to see somebody new coming to the market because you're seeing things we haven't seen before.
So huge catalog. Think of ATX except without the 3-year release, because they're partnered with Echelon, who, if you're not familiar with Echelon, has a ton of cardio equipment, smart Pilates, recovery, some really cool, more budget-oriented stuff.
And
but Primal is the big player to the game. They have commercial and home gym stuff. So the first thing we had to run over with is this rowing machine. Probably not putting it in your home gym, but this is kind of wild. Just a little pop pin, and I can change my row height. Look at this platform. huge weight stack, so I could do like a high row, unilateral, whatever you want. Super easy to adjust. Again, not practical, but super cool.
Yes.
This one I'm pretty excited about.
Oh, this is, so we've seen a lot of row machines this weekend, but this one's honestly pretty
One of the better
interesting
executed ones.
because you can get very narrow. And also we have like the free moving versus the fixed handles. I really like this one. I don't know if I have the back set right, but you can do a Romanian and rotate your handles while you're doing it.
Super easy to change the width. But the cool thing about this, and we have seen this a little bit, but I feel like with some companies it's kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
Where here it's pretty well executed. I can just flip this pad. There's a lot of adjustability. I can change the angle, the position of all the foot plates and stuff. You know, I can change the depth and all that. But this is, it's not just like a little flippy afterthought thing. This is really smooth on these bearings. A small footprint. I don't want to oversell because we've only messed with a lot of stuff for a few minutes, but this is one of the smoother ones. I just think, like Winnie was mentioning before, they execute things, they look at things a little differently, and I think this is pretty well done.
Whoa, we don't need the curl again. We've done enough of those. Why don't we look at this nice leg press hack squat?
Everybody needs a selectorized preacher in there.
No. Everybody needs to work out their legs.
Not everybody needs another leg machine. This one's, again, pretty cool and well done. So we've seen a lot of leg press, hack squat, calf raises, but the integration is just a little different thought out, down from little touches, like rather than janky, sorry companies with janky pop pins, rather than pop pins, that's a ladder system. It's just much more robust.
I'm messing it up here, but this is a very smooth leg press hack squat.
But this is actually kind of cool. Little touches, maybe not important to everybody, but I think it's important. Rather than have like this awkward, you know, I got to fit it with the pin. If you just lift this up, it locks automatically. So I'm not like holding both at the same time. Rather than like a T-slotted system where you have to like line it up and do the slot. It's just these little round holes and it pops right in. Maybe not groundbreaking, but just well executed. Good range of motion, right? Leg press, half squats, 9 times out of 10, maybe that's dramatic. You can't get to the 90 degrees. You've got a big, robust foot plate.
Look how low I can get.
Yep.
And the handle is exactly where I want it to be.
Good
nice.
padding. You can reverse hack squat, which I'm not gonna make my wife do on camera.
Wait, we gotta show them my favorite part.
Okay.
So we've seen a lot of calf raises, and again, they come off as kind of an afterthought, or it's just a block. This is actually a rounded calf raise, and it flips down, it's integrated into the machine.
So on some of the budget machines, and even some of the not budget ones, it's like a T-post, and it can rock back and forth. This is
really nice.
Probably the best calf raise I've seen.
I know you're thinking, another all-in-one rack, but this one is actually a little different, and that is the center section. So let me move their Smith machine out of the way.
You're gonna have a lot of classic. I've got the free motion arms, I've got the dual weight stacks, you know, various pull-up options. These are actually pretty cool. You can slide them and spin them, but this is different than anything I've seen.
And so this is counterweighted, but they have the free motion arms in the middle of the rack. And these are dual pull points. And honestly, this is super easy to move because it's counterbalanced. Why you would want these is when you have the fixed positions for the lat pull or the low row, you're really constrained to just using those 2 pull points. With the arms, you can put those dual pull points anywhere and then adjust to the position that you would want, opening up a lot of new exercises and ways to hit those muscles.
Should we talk about how this is stainless steel?
No, we shouldn't. We should just be happy that we have another big company moving into the American market, and let us know if there's anything specific you want us to review. All right, everybody here likes working out, everybody here likes stuffed animals, so obviously I forced us to stop at Buffed Animals, and these are super yoked stuffed animals. I especially like this one because she looks like our dog Mighty.
And there's squishies too.
I know.
Actually super cool to see kind of like the crossover between things, but honey, we do have more equipment to look at.
Oh my goodness. We are at JD Gym Equip, which is the #1 booth Adrian was excited for. I think specifically for the spatula, even though he actually doesn't cook at all.
Listen, a stainless steel, what?
All right, he only grills per usual.
Yeah, I could use this. Listen.
And actually, so we're gonna get into the attachments for lifting, which is what we're here for, but JD is open to taking like custom things. So reach out to him, bother him, you know.
So I don't know if you said it because I've been too excited, but a small American shop, This man is kind of making it all, and this is some of the craziest build quality you ever seen. It's all stainless steel. This is a hollow, try that out. A hollow stainless steel curl bar.
It's not rough, like not as rough as normal.
The knurling is wild, and you can get more aggressive knurling. And then there's all kinds of attachments here. If you've seen our attachments guide, like this is some of the nicest stuff you can buy.
All right, and so this is one of his only machines that he offers. He said he does
one hand.
Ah, why don't you demonstrate that then?
We came over to see it because it's just kind of like a unique look at an older machine. So you can just kind of swap in different handles. So we're just doing like a tricep dip or whatever. But
don't get distracted.
No, we're gonna get distracted. Over here, I mean, like the knurled track handles. This is my favorite D handle in existence. I've tested dozens. It's a stainless knurled handle. Is it maybe a little over the top? Sure.
Of course.
It is the coolest thing ever too. So I don't own this, but I own a lot of this stuff. I bought it all myself. I gotta say, if you're interested in supporting like a small American company, let me get distracted. I was gonna say the outro, but here we go. Look at that pivoting. You can lock this thing in.
Do you have a pull-up in you right now?
You can change the width. Sure, why not? But again, just everything really well made. If you're interested in supporting like a small American business, I think this guy is worth checking out.
We are here at Giant with their new line of racks and an update on our old favorite bench. And so this is their Axis line. It's 3x3, 1 inch. They have their new free motion arms.
So this can be ordered a few different ways. We've done a few Giant reviews, and I like them because they're a little more maybe value oriented is the proper way to say it, whereas I don't feel like I'm paying an inflated price for a name.
Like who? Can you give an example?
Nope, I can't.
Oh,
Not here because they're all looking at me. But this can be built a few different ways. You can get it like an Athena with a standard trolley, or you can get these new free motion arms called the Bazooka arms. Like a lot of these we're seeing, you can pivot them on multiple planes. I actually like these because most of these cannot go full 90 up or down. Actually, maybe besides primes, I don't know that many can. So you're getting the full 180 and the full 180, but they're not super crazy heavy.
Also, they have a Smith machine built in, and you can place this at different points. I will say this bar is not heavy. I think they said it's
45 pounds.
45 pounds, which is a barbell.
Yeah,
so
and this is another optional module. But the cool thing about this one is you can tilt the angles if you feel like dialing it in for whatever you want.
We have their new and improved benches. These have been a long time favorite, so it's cool to see them adding new things, including a port on the back. There aren't any attachments for it yet, but I'm sure that's coming.
This is kind of like my budget king, so to see them upgrade it and not like tweak the prices, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this is another Axis, but this is the Axis Dual, correct?
Yeah, so the Dual being dual functionality, or however you want to say it, dual pull points, dual pulley ratios.
Let's see.
Rather than having the free motion arm setup, which is an optional add-on here, you can integrate, or you'd get the added lat pull down with a 1-to-1 pulley ratio and the low row with a 1-to-1 pulley ratio.
This is very smooth.
You still have the functional trainer, but what I think is kind of cool about this that they did differently is rather than just give you a low row, which they have the integrated low row, this can pivot and you could actually
put it flat.
And here, the idea is if I drop this down, I get enough range of motion and I'm far enough away from the rack that you can use this for belt squats, which I think is a pretty cool integration because you're keeping all the normal functionality, just adding on to it.
We are here at Eve Company, and this is a really interesting booth because this is a guy who just liked to tinker, and he's really turned it into much more than that.
Yeah, the word company is real generous. It is one man.
I know, but so he started working with just mounts for Voltras, so that's an example of that over here. But look at this monstrosity that he's made.
So if you were to look around, we've used some of these mounts on our custom cable tower build. He's got a lot of that stuff, but this is like his multi-flight, but it's also like a pec deck. If you pull this, kind of like a rear delt fly, this entire thing can tilt to make it multi-flight compatible.
And I'm seeing some of these dials. So this is like a sundial, but I'm seeing it in a lot of different places.
Yeah, so this actually folds out and you can angle it to give yourself like a chest supported row or whatever pad you'd want. That angles as well. But like she's saying, you see that mount? That's that same mount here, which he's rigged up to a Voltra. This is just, you're gonna see this a bunch of times. Yeah. So this is another really cool prototype. This is what I like about Home Gym Con. You can see guys going through like the design process. So this is a push on a linear bearing, but also route the thing differently. And you can pull, and I was like, it's cool, but wouldn't it be cooler if it like converged, diverged, and tilted?
He spent too much time at Larry's booth.
And then he pulls me over here, and he's got a prototype. So it can indeed diverge and converge, and you can tilt the angle here to make it up or down, incline, decline press.
Continue with modularity. We already saw these arms over there with his chest machine. Now we're seeing them again. So this is a row, and we're gonna change this. And what would you call this? Like a isolator light?
I guess so.
Yeah. And I think that's okay to say because Eve said that they were going to be working with Larry on their design. But this is honestly a super cool company, and I'm really excited to see what this is going to turn into. All right, now we're back at PRX's booth, but we're looking at something very different, not just on the booth, but at the whole convention. And this is the E-Stack with Rep 1.
Yes. So this, not to cut Winnie off,
He's been super excited about it.
We've filmed 36 hours or something at this point. We were exhausted. Yeah. This is one of the most exciting releases, in my opinion, not only in home gyms, but potentially all gyms.
Yes.
This is, not throwing shade, we've said that a few times, the smoothest, one of the best built and best integrated digital stacks I've ever felt. I stand by, if you brought them blindfolded and you put these two on, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference.
You really wouldn't. When I first did it, I had a double take. You could tell that they programmed for inertia. So like if you first pull it, it's like pulling a weight stack. You feel gravity.
Yeah, they've literally simulated a weight stack. So I love the Vultra. We tried the Experience Nano. That was actually smoother than the Vultra. This is smoother than all of them.
Yes.
It's just, man, it's just so well done. But it's not just a weight stack.
The craziest part is that that's the least that it can do.
300-pound weight stack per unit. It can go higher, but nobody really needs more than 300. So
well,
300 pounds. But switching modes or like this whole system, the feel, the audio here, so smooth.
Crisp.
I like the Vultra, but sometimes you get a little overwhelmed with all the buttons and the modes and stuff.
I think this is very clean and concise. It has the same, if not more, functionality. So it's interesting to see that it's not overwhelming.
Actually does have more functionality in it. So you can switch between different modes. This is, I want to add weight to my concentric or my eccentric. I'm literally just clicking here. So like if Winnie pulled this right now, it would have 20 pounds on when she goes out and 35 pounds on the way in.
It did.
Super simple to swap between modes. I just flip down and now we're in bandeds. So when she pulls, it's gonna simulate a band.
It's crazy how elastic it feels. It's super smooth.
I can limit her speed to do like an isokinetic. This is used a lot in physical therapy. So as she pulls, it's gonna limit her to whatever speed I want. It can also like dynamically change the load for you. It's just crazy.
And that's just the tip of the functionality iceberg, but there's still a lot of more clever things that they've integrated into the E-Stack.
We may have done in the past. Let's say I just crank this to 125 pounds. Winnie, lift that trolley up. It figures it out and it disengages the weight. We may or may not have had times where we undo a pin and our device flies into the air. Just really...
a very expensive device.
Really clever integrations of safeties. I mean, not to get too crazy on the functionality because Winnie's gonna yell at me here, but like, I can just pop into a different mode here. So we're in eccentric and concentric. I can literally change how it ramps up and down the speed just by spinning this dial. Like, it is incredibly intuitive, is incredibly well done.
All right, I'm gonna cut him off because he's just gonna talk about this forever. But what people really wanna know...
Oh, is that it's made in the US?
Nope. Not that.
Is it that this fits on PRX's rack, their profile rack, but they're also making a version that can not only mount onto the wall or mount to other racks, and it can go on other existing functional trainer systems, so I could potentially put this on another cable system?
Price. They want to know the price.
The crazy part, in my opinion, knowing this is made in the US, that it has more functionality at release than pretty much anything out there. You can do programming, but priced within, I mean, put your guess in the comments. What do you think one of these is gonna cost? And in reality, it's gonna cost about the same as a Vultra with a mount. We're not gonna commit to that price, but this is wild.
It's crazy. Look how great you can see our new shirt that's about to release on gluckgym.com.
What a segue.
This has been a great Home Gym Con 2026, but we gotta give special thanks to
Jeff and Perrin of Paired and Powered Up. They helped organize and schedule things. Joey, Bob, Ryan, lots of our patrons. We could not have done it without you. I know I'm missing a lot of people, but seriously, we appreciate you so much. You are the reason this channel still exists.
Wait,
thank you.
We gotta give a double thanks to Perrin. Thank you so much, you saved our lives.